Hello, I'm Scott Eisner. I'm currently at Traffic Jams Motorsports in Buford, Georgia. I started in this industry in 1992. Found my way to Traffic Jams last year, May 2023. Biggest challenge and accomplishment this past year. I would have to say my biggest challenge has been throwing away that commission mindset now that I'm in an environment where we are all a team, that I can use all my knowledge to help others. I always found it when you're on your own in a commission environment, it's always hard to do some stuff completely by yourself. It's always nice to have a whole team, a whole bunch of people with so much more knowledge, maybe an outside look in, willing to accept their help, and for them to accept my help has been huge. And it's been tough since I've been in this business 30 something years, and it's always been commission. It's nice to be in a team shop where everybody's working together. I really, really love it. That was the biggest challenge. My biggest accomplishment for the year is that I have finally made it to the point to buy a home for my family. I've been pushing really hard, and this way I can be closer to the shop. Good 20-minute drive. Right now I drive about 45 minutes, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'd like to say I'm professionally fun. I like to bring laughter and humor to the shop environment. Our jobs can be very tedious, very stressful, very demanding, and I try to find the fun in it. There's always, that 2 seconds of somebody to say something that just gives you a smile, a laugh, just breaks up that stressful environment that sometimes we find ourselves in. So other things around the shop influence, I would say, I'm a bit of a pack rat. I have this unique gift to hold on to little bitty things. So if anybody in the shop ever needs anything, they always seem to venture over my way and dig through my toolbox for an odd 3-pin connector for some plug, and weirdly enough, I have it. So the other gift I have is I'm a walking fitment guide. I remember vehicles visually, like photographic. I can remember speaker sizes for pretty much every car, dash kit part numbers, wiring kit part numbers, antenna adapters. So usually the sales team or whoever is running around, they'll come and ask me real quick. Seems to be like I'm a bit of a walking encyclopedia for Metro part numbers. I guess it's just I've been using those same numbers for my whole life. So I don't mind it. It's fun. My specialty seems to be wiring. I love security, radar, as well as high-end audio. I'm the resident everyday tech here at TJ. I handle the day-to-day jobs from being, installs that are here sometimes for a couple of days, or just a deck install for a waiting customer. I have a vast background in fab work, able to come up with solutions for my installs of woodworking skills, CO2 laser skills. I'm able to use the top level of our equipment here in the shop to tackle the installs and make them as seamless as possible. Like I said, I really am a wire guy. I just love integrating everything and just seamlessly hiding it inside of the vehicle. That's something I really, really enjoy. My philosophy, I always believe, just take your time, do it right the first time. Push a little harder for that extra effort. I'm a firm believer of hand tools versus drills. It's a less chance of damage to the vehicle. No holes If it can be avoided, use OEM screws to attach your new components, or attach your new components. If there's a hole to be made, I like to use a product like a thread cert or something so it's more secure. This way, make sure the install is as OEM as possible and serviceable in the future, because I know somebody's going to take this apart and I want them to look and, wow, this is really done right and this was mounted correctly. That's just how it should be. That should be the industry standard. I hate finding wads of wires and just things that don't make sense. I really like to color code everything. Blue wires are remote, not pink. Just make it easy for serviceability and for somebody to work on it. In our shop, I may not be the last person that touches that car. We have so many in the shop that have different talents that we all kind of come in and out of a certain big build and we do our bits and we just move on. So it's got to be laid out to where anybody can work on it. I would like all my customers that I interact with, I would like them to have a very fun experience. I want them to have a few laughs. I want them to leave the shop being able to enjoy everything that they had installed, all the products. So it's best to make sure that I take the time to sit down and walk over all the aspects of what was done, what was installed, and every function of what we installed and how it works for that customer, so they are completely satisfied when they leave. Don't want them leaving upset that they don't know how to do this, don't know how to do that. I want to cover that all. And I also want to give them the ability to just give me a call, ask me. If you got a question about something in the car, just give me a call, no problem. It'll take 2 seconds to explain it to you. I also like the customers to notice that they got that vehicle back just as clean, if not cleaner, when it was dropped off. I don't want them to know it even was disassembled. When I freshly get it back installed, we go back, we clean our handprints off of it, we make sure that no signs of us being in that vehicle. We also make sure we wrap everything up, everything's protected, so we don't have any options of maybe damaging a customer's car. So I definitely want the customers to be super happy with everything. And to make sure all the OEM features and functions of that vehicle still remain and work. There's nothing worse than you buying a vehicle that has a certain feature that you like, and now because of the aftermarket, it doesn't work anymore. There's ways to integrate everything. Just pushing yourself harder to figure out what is correct to make everything work seamless. And then when my customers leave out here, I want them definitely to feel happy, have a smile on their face and go, hey, yeah, that guy Scott, he's really nice. He's very intelligent. He's very informative. He went through everything. He didn't leave anything out. That's what I want my customers to say. And then I want them to tell them to, tell their friends to come see us at Traffic Jams. I started in this business really early, in the mid-90s, or early to mid-90s, and car audio was booming. It was just blowing up. We had really cool things like Car Audio Magazine, Auto Sound and Security. These were our internet. This is what we used to see all over the United States, all over the world, of what was the winning combination, what was the best products out there, the new products out there, installation ideas, plexiglass started to come around, things like Flexstone, the old school stuff. But it was people taking that time to try something different in a car, and it was always showed off in these magazines. And then you had interviews from Richard Clark, Mark Fukuda, Harry Camara, Wayne Harris, David Fishman Riviera. And then you had even locals like Michael Bischoff, Matt Turner, Chris Anderson, Gary Stackpole. In the reps were there. They were everywhere in the 90s, early 2000s. Everywhere you looked, you'd have a new rep popping by or somebody just checking on you. You had John Ledford, Mark Barber, Cecil Sweet, Jeff Smith, and more. They seem to sit outside of that box and they just push the installers a little harder to try ideas, showing us that we're only held back by our imagination. These guys just let it go. They tried so many new things, and it just makes me want to try more and more new things. And last, Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca was a huge influence. I followed them for years. I competed years. It really helped me network, meet people, see other people's work up close, other ideas, and what's coming out, soon. It's really been great over these years. It has definitely come a long way since the 90s, and I'm definitely a lot happier now in the age of DSP. We can really make these systems sound really good. I do believe I should be in the top 50. I love coming to work every day. I love working every day. I love this industry. I love everybody in it. I've been in it since the early 90s, and I asked as many questions as I could when I was young. I was a sponge. I still am a sponge. Just keep asking questions and striving to get as more information crammed into your head as possible, because things are moving. New tech coming out every day. And it's how I learned to integrate and adapt to the current product line. I have the will and the want to succeed that drives me to use my free time to find ways to better my work process, from training to new tools. I'm always evolving. I bought a CO2 laser back in 2016, and it has been a game changer for car audio. The ability to custom cut parts for a seamless install, and less time in the wood shop. I'm an everyday car guy, everyday installer, and sometimes I feel we get overlooked by the finished wow pics, that get posted from the fabrication guys. Who wants to see pictures of terminated wires and heat shrink? But I play a very important role in our shop and in this industry. I keep the shop moving on a daily basis, taking care of all the customers on day to day. I do have my glory photos here and there. I post them all the time. I post most of my installs every day online somewhere, either on our page or my personal page. I think we get overlooked a little. The fab guys, they throw out their wow pictures of finished installs, and those look way cooler than stuff you can't really see that's been integrated into the car. But those jobs have to be done. Those jobs are what can go on and pay the bills too. It's not always playing with a trunk with custom fiberglass. That takes time, and we have fab guys for that, and they do great work. And even if they're tied up, they'll come over and say, "Hey, do you mind?" And, I don't mind firing up the laser, cutting out some acrylic, and custom sanding some Bronco dash plates to make some speaker brackets. So I have the ability to jump all over the shop. Whatever really needs to be done, I'm right there. I think that I have what it takes to be in the top 50. I'd say the top 12 would be reserved. for those really high-end fab guys. But the top 50, those are the guys that have been in this industry for a really long time. And we're in this industry still because we have that ability to keep going. That pushes us to strive to be better, to learn, and not get outplayed by the new tech that comes out. I want to be ahead of that. I want to pretty much know about stuff even before it hits the shelves for the consumers. So with that, I would love to be in the top 50 for 2025. I was nominated last year and placed in the top 50 for 2024 because I had the ability to grow and adapt with the new tech that's coming out daily. And this year, I'll be pushing myself to learn 3D modeling and get that going as well. So I hope I can round up enough votes to make it in that top 50 this year. It's easier because it's not so quiet here in the shop. Man, I can get in my toolbox. Top left's for my keys and little stuff, USBs, things like that. Testing cables for everything, just about. Big drawer, of course, my sockets, socket wrenches, because I get in the drawer daily. Cutters and crimpers, pliers, Allens, wrenches, drills, more wrenches, all my unibits, drill bits. Here we got some pliers again. Specialty drawer. So this is where all the panel tools are, the tiny little hook tools, pick tools, plastic pick tools, plastic tools for dashboards, soft panel pieces, removables, and hards. Let's see, the next one, there's some screwdriver drawer. Yeah, nut drivers, screwdrivers, torque bits, etc. Right angles, if there's tight spaces. Bits, hole saws, tape measures. Bottom drawer is where I keep all my pack rat. So I keep all these little screws, little connectors, little wires, little pieces, stuff, antennas, just anything. Anybody ask me in the shop, I usually have it. So, over here, this is all my knives, X-Acto knives, metal cutting, some file sets, drill bits. All these are my drill bits. The last one is all my hammers, my new air. This little guy, love that little thing. But let's see, down here, all my air tools. A bit of a mess right now, so I do have to do some cleanup. Definitely all my air tools hiding in here. Nail gun, air saws, reciprocating saws, impact, sanders, palm sanders, die grinders, right angled grinders, nail gun down there. Got another sander there. Really need more room. I'm about to buy another toolbox. I've got more tools at home and another snap-on toolbox. I'm thinking about bringing it up here too. So that is my area.